What's up, everybody? On the next episode of You Heard What I Said, we're talking about social media. Like, what would it have been like if we had social media back in our day? And you already know we the 40 and over club, so it would have been crazy. Can't wait to talk about it. See you then. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of You Heard What I Said podcast. Look, we appreciate you guys always tuning in with us. We want to make sure that you guys like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell. Like, look, we here. We ready. Right along with my main one, Keon. What's going on with you?
What's up? What's up? What's up, Precious? How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm hanging in there. Life be lifing, but I'm here. I'm ready for this next episode. Look, you know what? I'm already ready to drink. Like, what you got?
So I need a little energy, so I got a little cherry cola. I don't want to, we don't have sponsors yet, so I'll just say cola, and a little something else in here to make it nice and sweet. So some of your drink. Yeah. So cheers to you.
I might start going back to a little bit of wine. I know my friend, she talked about this wine. She was like, I just tried this new one and you gotta go get it. She was like, run to Sam's Club and go pick this up for me and I will beat you. So I haven't tried it yet, but yeah, so I might do me some little wine.
I haven't had any wine in decades, man.
Yeah, it tends to.
I'm just not a wine. Huh?
It mellow me out, so we'll see.
I don't know. I'm just not a wine drinker. Probably it's like in the middle of, like when I drink, I don't want to drink a lot of something.
Yeah.
And so I started my drinking with beer, decades ago.
Right.
I had to drink a lot of that to get to where I wanted to be at. And like with wine, that's in the middle. But yeah. with something like this, I'll be good after this, So so I know wine's like not this. Hey, I'm not whatever. But I mean, wine's like the most. It's like 13%. Usually it's anywhere from like 11 or 13, like 12 and a half, whatever. Beer's like 5, 6, and this is 40. So it's a big difference.
Yeah, I never looked to see. I'm looking over here like the bottle right next to me, like it's in the kitchen. I don't know how much it is, but I'm gonna take a look. I know the wine. I believe she said that one because it's a fruity type wine.
That's probably about 8 or 9 in or something.
It might even be lower, but she said it got. So I'm gonna try it. So.
Hey, no, I'm just saying. I just never got into the tasting wine because I like sweet. I like my drink sweet, and usually it's either dry or very, very bitter. And if I would have like a Moscato or even that other one the one that's like a fruity. What's that fruity flavor?
Sangria a lot.
Yeah, sangria. Yeah, so it'll be like if I have some, it'll either be one of those two. Right. But I want to be, I want to be all macho. I was like, yes, can I have a sangria? You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to be all like that. Yeah. So
look, it ain't with a little wine.
Yeah, give me that sangria.
Yeah, we tend to. We're going to a brunch spot on Thursday. Thursday is our thing, and it's a BYOB. So I'm gonna bring the bottle, and we'll see if we finish it.
Man, we talking about BYOB. Man, I don't know if you ever went when you came down to see me, but there was a BYOB all you can eat fish place.
Really? What kind of fish?
I think it's catfish. And I think you could bring your own, whatever. Man, dang, it's gone.
crazy. I've never heard of such a thing. You,
Yeah.
it took me a minute. I know y'all we off topic, but it took me a minute to like really get into catfish because the first time I tried it, I was like, I guess whoever made it just didn't cook it right or it wasn't like a good batch. I don't know. But nah, baby. Like that's all I want. Right.
You just gotta be careful because I just don't like it when it's fishy fishy tasting. Because I bought some from a place that you just mentioned, and my batch was real fishy. Yeah, so everybody in the family like, no, thank you. They took a bite and like, no, thank. They'll be able to, like, and I had to eat one because I made it. You know what I'm saying? But I threw the rest of that bag out. It was very, very fishy.
That experience when I got it. So yeah.
But some good one. Yeah, some good catfish is some good catfish. I can eat that. Like if you're on a deserted island, I could just have catfish, but I gotta have the hot sauce with it. But just gotta have. Yeah.
Okay, well, look, today we are talking about social media. And when I say social media, I mean like you see like how people put on all of this stuff now on social media, and a lot of people do it for likes. You know what I'm saying? But just imagine if we had social media back in our day, because you already know we were the generation where the parents be like, go outside and come back when the street lights was on. So they had absolutely no idea where we were, what we were doing. We could have been across town or in another state and they would have never known.
Like, why you tripping? If we had to check in, it'll be one of those phone booths.
Oh, it was a pager.
Yeah, but can you think of a phone booth though? All right, check this out. Man. Now, just think about this: in the middle of a street, in a glass enclosure, on the phone. Can you imagine doing that nowadays?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Oh, hell no.
Crazy. Yeah. But I mean, just a lot of the stuff that, I don't think either one of us were like, bad kids. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
As a child, you test boundaries. You know what I'm saying? You do a lot of stuff. So just imagine like me being with a boyfriend or whatever. We just like on the corner and he like come give me a kiss and do all this stuff. Just imagine somebody just like recording me, and now that's just like on the internet forever that I'm just on the street. You know what I'm saying? Kissing some dude. Like that's just so random. All of a sudden my child like, Mom, is that you? Like no, I must have a tweet out here somewhere. Or back then, I was gonna say something about, people be fighting, but I was like, I don't even want to get into that. But just imagine like the fights, like we would just have regular fights. You know what I'm saying? But okay, where do I want to go with this?
Come on. You heard what she said. Spill it. We decide later if we're gonna air it. Just make sure you don't say no names or no locations, because statute of limitations still exists or whatever.
I'm trying to think of where do I want to go with this social media.
But as you think about where you want to go, I was just thinking just from what you were just talking about. I mean, okay, first of all, I was thinking about, because right now, basketball's happening, college basketball playoffs, the NCAA championships and everything like that. And I was thinking by me playing collegiate football and what they call like an NIL deal, where now they're getting paid. And, you can basically, the range is like from the thousands, and some of the high profiles are making millions in college off of the deals. And my ass, cause I didn't get a scholarship until like my third year, I believe. And so I had to work, delivering pizza. Dude, all right, I had a convertible, right? So I remember I was delivering pizza in my convertible, and this dude was tried to steal a pizza out of the passenger side, and we were almost scrapping. And so I was thinking about, dude, I was about to scrap with him because I was in the dorm, and he was coming in trying to jump in and get the pizza. And just imagine when you talk about social media, that would have been, that would have been on there, on social media. And by me playing football, even though I was innocent, I would have gotten in trouble,
Absolutely.
because because of that. But when you think about, because everything you do, you got to be careful. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it because I would be in college. I had little herbal remedies going on for a handful of years. I was introduced, and I couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? I'll be so paranoid that everything I do is being recorded, and probably would be. And I don't know how I could live with everything being recorded on social media. I would have to change my whole persona as to who I was and be the most innocent person out there, because everything that I would do with my friends and my teammates, it would cost us our careers, basically.
That's happening with a lot of celebrities now. They're like, oh yeah, this came up, or such and such is getting charged or whatever for something that they did, years ago. And it's all because somebody caught it on tape,
Mm-hmm.
Then we had like the brick phones. I don't even know if you could record. Like at 16, I think 16 is when I got my first cell phone. And yeah, I don't think there wasn't a video or camera option.
Dude, I got the OG phone back. I got the OG phone with me.
Really?
Yeah, it's in the box right now. But I got the OG phone that's like this size, got the antenna. I got that. Well, it's just numbers. You know what I'm saying? No, but I got the gray one. I got I have it here.
Antenna was crazy. It's almost like having a TV antenna. Like you literally had to pull it up to make sure that you had good reception. Right.
And you have to like point it and stuff in different directions, make sure you got it. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, but just imagine, like, say I tell our parents, like, oh, I'm just going up to the park, which was like 2 blocks away from the house, but then I end up all the way like downtown. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine if there were phones and somebody caught me out there doing whatever, you know what I'm saying? And now it's just on social media, just for everybody to see. And I don't think people realize like the scrutiny of, you know what I'm saying, being on social media.
Oh my gosh.
Do people pick apart? So it's I'm so that we didn't have it growing up.
It would be so crazy because think about everything. Think about now the doorbells. Pretty much every house, every apartment, every thing that has a doorbell on it that's recording something. Mm-hmm. And you can't get away with anything. Anything that you do on the street, is being recorded by someone. Not to say that, like, say you and I were bad kids, but right. You could get away with couldn't do that ding dong ditch thing or whatever. No, they see everything. They know your face. They got your fingerprints on, all that stuff. So
I'm literally waiting for the day, because a lot of times, as you get over this 40 club, sometimes us females, we get, a little bit. So I'm literally waiting for me to be on video for somebody just being like in somebody's parking lot, just sitting there like, ooh, let me get that. Ooh, this is a great one.
Hey. It's like public domain, it's public, you're in public place.
Mm-hmm. And I know somebody goes just for likes,
That's funny.
It's the best light when you outside.
I never thought of that.
Can't see in the house.
I never thought of that. 'Cause that's how people be recording this stuff, where all that stuff be happening in the grocery stores and all those different stores, department stores, and someone got their camera out and just start recording. Mm-hmm. But before I have another story, have you decided how much or what you're gonna say, or are you gonna just move on along?
Leave it alone.
You know, keep it moving. But all right, so all right, yeah, we had like in college, we had pagers back then. You know, we had I didn't my one of my teammates got a phone. He was the first person that knew they had a phone. That was my maybe junior year, maybe, in terms of a phone. But it of course didn't have, you know, you couldn't take pictures or anything like that. But I just think about, in addition to social media, just think about how your life would be at that age of, you know, 18 to 23 or whatever, where you had, or I would say, yeah, where you had the capability of having a cell phone where you could text someone, you can call someone with it, you know, hey, I'm not, because like if you wanted to go to someone's house, you know, you a lot of times you would, you know, you would call them, see if they're home, and of course they had a landline and everything like that, and you know, and they don't answer, you know, and so now all of a sudden you could be outside the house, outside the door calling them, you know, it just, life would be so different if we had cell phones, if we, you know, had all that text messaging, you know, because nowadays like you said, everybody puts stuff on social media, but how do you think that you would be financially? Because now the generations, you know, there's all these young guys making, you know, tens of millions of dollars. There's that girl that said "Catch Me Outside" or whatever, you know, she's famous now, making, you know, tens of millions of dollars from just a little phrase, and all of a sudden she start, you know, publicizing different things. And you know, we got this you know, these OnlyFans now, but I know, you know, you
Well,
know, but you know,
before I even talk about the financial aspect, you know, back in the day, our communication was we raised up the window in the living room and yelled outside like Ronnie, where you at? What you doing? And if she was in a house, she raised up her window and we literally communicate from across the street. Or I'll see her outside, like, stand back, I can't see you. Like, I can't look straight down. Where you at? What you doing? So that's how we communicated if somebody was outside. Because like you said, we didn't have cell phones and we wanted to get in touch,
that's crazy.
yelling out the window. That was our communication. But as far as the financial aspect, especially since I'm like, I still kind of say new to social media. It's been like maybe a year or whatever since I've been on. I've always been kind of private. So I don't even know if back then if I would have engaged in the social media,
All right.
and
What? But your friends would have.
you know,
Your friends would have, and all of a sudden, if they're making, you know, four figures a week
hmm
just by posting stuff, you know, not naked stuff, you know, just by posting stuff and whatever, and they're making, you know, back then, 20 years ago, you
yeah,
know, 5 grand a month by you know, the minimum, because nowadays people are making a lot more, but minimum, let's say your friends were making 5 grand a month by just, you know, everywhere they go, posting food, posting this, posting that. Hey y'all, I'm going to this club, and then they posting, hey, and then, you know, all these thousands of likes, whatever. I'm sure you know, even though you're private, you might want to get a taste of that. Well, all of a sudden they're buying all this expensive stuff and they kicking it, and you know, they got all the new stuff. Back in the day, they got the Jabos, the Jabot jeans. They got, you know, the Pele, and you know, they got all the old school, you know, stuff and everything.
um, maybe because I will say that I'm not the same person now that I was back then.
Oh,
So
absolutely, yeah, yeah.
course you didn't think about all the consequences and everything. So I definitely was more outgoing, vibrant, like didn't really care. You know what I'm saying? Type vibe. So maybe. I don't know. But then I was also that girl who was like, you know what? I'm ditching gym class because with all the guys, come on, precious, like let's see you in that swimsuit. And I was like, you know what? I'm taking dance. Because I'm tired of y'all. So I don't know. I cannot say for certainty what I would have done, even if it was for financial gain. You know, I don't know. I've always been that type where I'm like, you can't, like, you know, God, this is off topic, but say a guy messed up or whatever, and they like, oh, they buy you something to try to get back on your good graces. I've always been that one, like, you can't buy me. Like, that gift isn't gonna do anything, for me. So I really can't say what I would do. So I don't know, but are you saying that you would definitely be like, oh yeah, I'm taking part in this?
I think so because like I'm more reserved now, but back then with the I had like two cliques, I had football clique and then my high school slash Tribe Called Quest clique. I'll put it this way. That was kind of this mellow, cool, chill man in the dorms, and I could really get messed up with, and I knew they had my back. I had their back, and play dominoes with, and all that stuff. And so I was different then than I am now. And if I was back then, I think I would be a little more. I've been definitely more extroverted for sure. So I would have been different with social media back then for sure. I would have been more outgoing, more outspoken, and definitely took advantage of it. Because I mean, shoot, what ride I had back then, by working and I was talking to not Doc. I was talking to Malcolm's brother, and he brought up some stories. I didn't realize how I mean we were tight, but he was bringing up some stuff. I was like, dang, we did do some crazy stuff, back then. I could just imagine with social media, man, that would have taken it to a whole nother level.
I definitely think it would have benefited or would have been beneficial for you in your college years as far as football, because you were definitely like is the word I want to use, underrated? I'm not sure, because a lot of the stuff that you were doing on that field when you would play would be like, oh my goodness, like, did you see that?
Man.
So it definitely would have got you more, highlights where it would have got you more playing time, and who knows where you would be right now. So yes, it would have helped you because everybody would have been streaming everything. Like, they go number.
Thank you.
Yes.
I didn't even think about that, because that's a fact, because I know a lot of my belief was a lot of it that I didn't have the time that I felt I deserved was politics, because back then, I mean, things are different now where, I mean, back then, okay, if we kind of, if like, this is 2025, if we brought what's happening right now back then, it would have been different, because I feel that I didn't have the playing time that I deserved because of the fact I was not on scholarship the first few years, and that would have turned people off, because it turned the athletes off, because if they were like, okay, this person walked on, and I mean, a lot of walk-ons get scholarships and play, I was one of them eventually, but if I walked on and started in front of someone that got a scholarship, got everything paid for, and was told that they're going to start and play, and all of a sudden they didn't, they would transfer. And now it's easier to transfer, but they would transfer to another school and they would lost them. And so they basically were like, nah, this dude ain't going to play, because I have to play this guy, whether if he's better or not, because he's on scholarship. We paid him. We promised him this, and with all the stuff that's going on now, I think it would have been a lot different, but
Yeah, you were definitely as good, if not better, than a lot of them on the team. If I'm not mistaken, I think you were like the fastest on your team.
I wasn't the fastest, but I was up there, because I mean, there was like, I know for sure 2 guys that were faster than me. But I was up there. I know where my 40 was back then. But so I know that there were people that were faster than me, but I was in the low 4.4s. If for those of you that are paying attention in terms of what that is, I was in low 4.4s in my 40. Oh man,
yeah. That you would take, you never like let the ball escape you. Like, if you saw it coming your way, you didn't care how far you had to stretch your body, what kind of damage it might have did. You like, I'm catching this ball. Like it was kind of like spectacular just to watch. Like, yeah, everybody definitely knew I was your sister because I was loud and embarrassing.
You know, but you know what I think I give thanks to for a lot of that. I don't know if you remember, but thanks to mom and dad, there was this I don't know why, but they took me to some place to learn like reaction stuff.
Hmm.
I was like the optometrist
Mhm.
on. Oh man, I was about to say exactly where I was at, but I remember they had me doing a lot of drill, back then, like with like having one eye open, one eye closed, and bouncing the ball, catching it with one hand. I had a straw, and they had me with like a needle, like a long thin pick or whatever, and I had to learn how to, put the needle in the straw, and there's a lot of stuff they had me do, and so my reaction skills were so good, and they still are, to the point where all of a sudden I'm, getting coffee or whatever, and some starts to fall. I'm like, I'm like, just it's that muscle memory is always going to be there from 30 years ago. Anyway,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
it's not about me. It's about, and I still don't even know what a lot of these social media little emojis are, because I got a text from the wifey earlier today about like some meanings of different social media emojis, whatever. But I mean, so our life would have been different back then.
It definitely would have. I would have gotten in a lot of trouble. I was
Yeah,
definitely as the good girl. But yeah, if people had known exactly what I was really doing, I would have been getting my butt whipped like every day. In places I shouldn't have been, lying, cutting school, all types of stuff. Like, yeah, crazy. We
man.
like, oh, what was it? Not the report cards, but it was before the report card. You would have your gosh, it's like on the tip of my tongue. It'd be like your halfway grades or whatever. Like, oh, why can't I think of the word? Whatever it is, they will call the house and say if you didn't pass a class, even though we both did great, like at school. You know what I'm saying? Definitely had B or above average, but say like at the halfway point, you weren't turning in some work or whatever. Your grade was kind of low. We would always be like, "Oh, the school calling." Like make sure you erase that message as soon as you get home before mom and dad get there so they won't hear it. Or if we cut class, like, and they will call home, yeah, go ahead, erase that doggone message before they
And we say erase the message. You're talking about the answer machine, right?
say all that. Because right,
The answer machine. You have to rewind and make all that noise to rewind.
absolutely,
Oh, dude.
we were a hot mess. I don't know how that part would have affected social media, but it just definitely made me go back down memory lane.
We wouldn't have the landline phones with 50-foot cords back then.
For sure. Yeah. Not,
Yeah.
that's like how we had the charges. Like, no, I need that 6 foot. No, I need that 9 foot charge so it can wrap around the doggone room.
It's all the same. It's all the same, just a little tweak.
Right. I got the portable right here because I was like, oh, I'm about to run down this battery like super quick. Let me get this portable charger. But look, why don't you guys leave us a message about how you think social media would have affected you back in the day when you were in your teenage years or young 20s or whatever it may have been. We would love to hear it and we could talk about it on the next episode. So once
Absolutely.
yeah, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell. Like, interact with us. We here. We want to engage with you all. So, Keon, tell everybody how they can reach you.
Absolutely. Keon said 3-7. And I know you mentioned my football number earlier, the 3-7. So I heard that. And what about you, Precious? How can you be reached?
Precious said 888. That's how you can reach me. Thinking about getting on TikTok. if they don't cancel it again. Because I was like, so many people are on TikTok. They like, yeah, you see this on TikTok? You on TikTok? I'm like, no. Because to me, social media consumes me. And I don't want to go down like the rabbit hole like, oh my goodness, it's been 2 hours. And I'm still scrolling. Like, I don't like that feeling.
But I like the feeling if they're watching us. Right.
Hey.
There you go. Yeah.
For sure. So yeah. Okay, until next time. Oh, and next time we are gonna do something new, you guys. So make sure you stay tuned for the next episode where we're gonna get some commentary on some stories. Can't wait. See you then.
Yes. All right.
All right. I'll holler.